Sangate Bodhi Swaha. Gone, gone, gone beyond, gone completely beyond, awakened, so be it. So, good evening and happy Tibetan New Year to everybody. So, this is the beginning of the Tibetan New Year, which is also the Lunar New Year. And so, we say that the very beginning of the year, the beginning of this next cycle, there was, in the monasteries, then there's practices that are done before New Year, and they're very wrathful, like suppression practices that avert any obstacles from being carried over into the next cycle. So those are complete, and now we begin this new cycle fresh. Just like every moment, then we have this opportunity to begin fresh right here, right now. So here we are in the beginning of this new cycle. And so then we say that this 2 weeks from this new moon to the full moon are very auspicious, and multiplicity, we say that they're the potency of this timing of the new year multiplies the potency of one's practice. And in the life of the historical Buddha, this time actually coincided with events in the life of the Buddha. There was some miraculous things that happened in the life of the Buddha that also carry into this present time. So then we say that this is a particularly beneficial time for practice. So you can keep that in mind in the next 2 weeks, and then I think probably most of you already do know. And in our tradition, we like try to be secret practitioners. Like, we're really not supposed to like make any outward expression. Like, really the best practitioners were the ones who were completely secret, and nobody even knew that they were practitioners. They kept it hidden. And in our tradition, that's the most revered type of practitioner, are these quiet, secret practitioners. And when one keeps it to themselves, they're not broadcasting it and trying to become important and all of those things, because the self-importance, that's really like the main poison to our furthering our practice. So then we never would like say like that type of thing, like, oh, I'm going into retreat kind of thing. But now it's different time. So I did put out on the social media thing that I'm going into 2-week silent retreat here at home. And I put that out because my hope is that maybe it does inspire or benefit some people. And then also, then you can know why I'm disappearing for a couple of weeks here. So it was very, very auspicious. We say that the conditions were incredible, that today is the new moon and it's a Monday. So you guys are sending me off to my retreat, and after our practice here, then I won't speak again until 2 weeks, where it's another Monday. So the full moon of this 2 weeks falls on a Monday. So I will leave with you here, and then when I start to speak again, then my first words will be in 2 weeks with you guys again. So that is really special for me. And then that the full moon, practice, that's all of the energy of this 2 weeks, all of this multiplicity. We say 100,000 multiplicity. And I try to only stress the positive because I don't want to scare people, but it is said the effects of positive and negative actions are multiplied 100,000 times during the 2 weeks. So it's really helpful to really look at everything like with a magnifying glass, like that it's magnified, and really see like how do I hold my body, speech, and mind, and can I refine and upgrade my actions in the world to become more positive, more conscious, more mindful, beneficial, using every bit of our energy to positive. Because in our ordinary way, then we get very relaxed about that, and we forget that it really does matter. So then the full moon is one of the 4 great holidays of the year, and that day it's said that the multiplicity effect is 10 million times. So, who can really say? But if we think like this, it only can help us to become more mindful and more refined, and really to self-introspect into our own actions, thoughts, words, and try to refine that to make us better. So, Happy New Year, and may this year bring great benefit for you and all of those around you and the world, and may all beings attain awakening and think of benefiting others. So now tonight we'll begin in the same way that we always do. These practices come from the Tibetan Buddhist lineages, and so in these practices then we follow along this path. So as we walk along the path, then there's certain steps that we engage in every time we do these practices. So if you actually have a very refined mind, and so then your mind is completely resting, and you're very aware and can concentrate and focus your mind in any way that you want it to at any time, and your mind isn't wandering and crazy, that's great. But if you really can do that, then why would you not follow along in these same steps also? So even the greatest practitioners, then they still follow along in these same steps. It's not like you get there and then you don't have to do this part. Even if you get there, then you still engage in all of these steps, because if you have a mind that's very present and focused, then as you engage in these steps of the path, then they're even more powerful and more potent. And you're also living as the example for other beings. There is no place you get to that makes you better or something like that. There's a famous saying, something like, if your mind is as high as the sky, your actions remain as fine as flower. So even one who has a completely awakened mind, then their actions become even more refined, like flower. They don't change. They become more devoted to the path and the stages and steps. So then we begin always with invocation to the lineages. So then the reason why this is the beginning is because this is where we start with remembering where this came from and how we connected to this lineage, to these teachings. And so then when we connect in that way, we can receive that blessing. And it's really all of it really, this is meditation, it really is in your mind. So when your mind focuses in that way, then that's what allows that to unfold for you. So as we connect to the lineage, then what we're doing is we're connecting to awakened mind and recognizing that historically, there were many beings who actually attained full realization of their mind's true nature, this stainless quality of purity and compassion, wisdom, all positive qualities. So these beings that actually attain that, then we're connecting mind to that source, that energy. And in the way that energy, all the thoughts and imprints then remain. So if that's true, then we can connect to those imprints, that energy of awakened beings. So that's one level. And then another level is where we're recognizing that we also have that inherent seed of enlightened mind within us. All beings have awakened mind as it is our root nature. We're not going anywhere. We're revealing what's already within us. So again, then meditation is a path of looking within. It's not outside. It's already within you. So we're recognizing that exists within ourself, and we say, you have always been, already are, and always will be perfectly and fully enlightened. And that's true. But also, it's true that we have created obscurations, like we say, like mud covering a crystal. We've created all these like layers of dirt and mud that prevent us from living and expressing that crystal-like nature of our mind. So yes, we have that inherent enlightened mind within us, and so then we connect to those who have revealed that. And we also recognize and call to mind at the very beginning, at the outset, at this first step on the path, that all beings, every single being without exception, all have that inherent nature to their mind. And so then when we look out into the world and we see there's many different levels of beings, and those beings who are most obscured, who have the most mud on their mind's crystalline nature, then we really need to have great compassion for them, because they're suffering more. Those who are more disconnected from their nature, from their truth, they are suffering more, and that's why they're creating so much harm and negativity in the world. So those are some of the levels of this first step on the path. And then in this practice with us here, because not all of you, of course, are Buddhist, and it's not necessary for you to be Buddhist, so then we can expand this to encompass all traditions, all great beings. It's the same root, it's the same nature of mind. So whatever tradition you come from, or wherever you find that inspiration of an enlightened being, whoever you think of in that way, then you can use that as the compass. This is directing us in the direction toward awakened mind. So from the beginning, we set ourselves off onto the path in this direction toward recognizing awakened mind. So then, as I sing the prayer of invocation, then contemplate and meditate in this way, and visualize that the sky above you is full of these awakened beings, symbolic of our own mind's awakened qualities. Hong Orjin Yoji Nichan Sam Pe Ma Gesar Dompola Yansen Chogi Godrune Pe Ma Jungne Shesudra Kordu Gondro Mampo Kor Keke Jesu Draduki Jinje Lo Chir Jesu So Guru Pema Siddhi Home. So then as we continue on in the practice, then we maintain this this meditation or this visualization or this knowledge, this feeling that this stays present in our path. And this stays present in our path as we engage in this practice that we do tonight. And ultimately, then you maintain this awareness of the lineage, that blessing, that essence that remains. You hold that all the time through day and night. And you can rely upon that as a guide and a force to direct you toward awakened mind, toward revealing that awakened mind within yourself. So then the next step on the path then is setting our intention or our motivation. And again, this is directing us, this is setting our compass or our direction of where we're going. It's drawing us, leading us in this direction. So then this is a very most important part of our practice. So our motivation or our intention then in this practice is called the swift path. And the reason this is called the swift path is because of this motivation. So the motivation here is vast. Our motivation is that we are aspiring to reveal that enlightened mind within ourself. So this is, we say in a spiritual way, this is the most lofty goal. So maybe in a lifetime then people have aspirations and goals. What are your goals? Are your goals to get a house or a car or a family or this or that or the other? We say worldly goals. So all of those worldly goals, then those are impermanent and they come and go. And then for sure we die and all of those things disappear. So then we say then this spiritual goal to attain enlightenment, that's really the pinnacle of our ability, and that having been born in this what we call precious human birth, we have very conducive conditions to attain spiritual awakening through this human body. But mostly then we get distracted with all kinds of other goals that we, always think are more important. So our motivation is, may I attain enlightenment. So we're setting this goal. This is our goal. And then our motivation is, may I attain enlightenment in order to be of ceaseless service for the benefit of all beings without exception. So then what this means is that on this path to awakening, then what's preventing us from recognizing this is that we think that there is a self. We think that there is this I, this me, that's separate from all things, and we elevate that to be of most importance. And so then when we meditate and we look into our mind and how our mind, thinks these thoughts over and over again, right? So when we look into our mind and we see that, what are those thoughts? All of those thoughts, mostly all of those thoughts are about me. They're about my goals, my house, my, needs, my wishes, me, my. And that just solidifies and strengthens this concept that we have of that there is this self, and myself is more important than anything else. And so then as we travel this path to awakening, and we engage in this motivation that says, may I attain awakening in order to be of ceaseless benefit for all sentient beings without exception. So that's our motivation, and then this is how then we engage in the practice. So then the main practice is broken down into the 3 doorways of body, speech, and mind. So meditation is practice of mind, but mind is very difficult and hard to pin down. And I think everybody has had the experience of trying to meditate, and their mind is just restless and wanders all over the place, and it's hard. And so then we give up. It's like, this is too hard. So meditation is a practice of mind, but to work with the mind, then we start with the doorway of the body. And so then all of this, the lineage and motivation, and now working with the 3 doors, these are all techniques that have been developed by practitioners who have been working this out for thousands of years. And it's seemingly simple, but they're very profound. And the more and more you engage in them, the more you see the depths and how it works. And to think of it in an intellectual way is one level, but then to really dive in and experience it, then we start to really see how this works. So then the first doorway is the body. And so in this practice, then the body is a posture. So the posture is called the 7-point posture of Vairochana. So legs are folded in full lotus, half lotus, or crossed-legged, or you can raise your hips up on a cushion, and that can help. Or if none of those are an option, then you can sit on the edge of a chair. And so all of this is giving us the ability to straighten our spine. And if there's a reason why we can't straighten our spine, then you visualize yourself in this posture. So legs in full lotus posture, and visualize or experience your spine as straight from your root to your crown chakra. Hands rest palm downwards on your knees. Gently tuck your chin in toward your chest and lengthen the spine in the back of your neck. Relax your jaw and allow your lips to part slightly. Rest the tip of your tongue where your upper teeth and palate join. So this is the posture, seemingly very simple, and yet there's quite a bit of training that can go into this posture. And we say that as we work on the posture, this helps to clear any negative energy that we have created through our body. So the idea of this is that this is the path to enlightenment. And so using our body in this way as a vehicle for awakened mind, then just holding ourselves in this posture then clears away negativities that we have accumulated, the mud on the crystal with the body, by just trying to rest in this posture. So that's the outer level of the posture. And then the inner level of the posture is stillness. We're bringing the body back to one-pointedness, and we're creating a seat, so to say, for the mind to begin to come back and sit and rest. And so then the physical spine correlates to the subtle body central energy channel that runs through the center of our body from our root to our crown chakra. So then on this next level, so first we're like physical body, and then next level is we are experiencing the body as the subtle body, the energetic body. So this energy body then is always a part of us, but we don't really recognize it. We don't, it's not revealed to us. This is it's the next level revealing. So until we actually experience our body in the energetic body, we can visualize it and think about it, and that helps us to uncover and reveal that. It brings us closer to that understanding. So again, then reestablish your physical body posture, and then visualize the central energy channel running from your root to your crown chakra. And this is a channel of light. In Tibetan, it's called the crystal tube, and it's about the diameter of your small finger running through the center of your body, and visualize this central energy channel as very straight. So you're beginning to align your body to this alignment into awakened being, this physical enlightened aspect. And then we begin to experience the subtle body energy, and this is a body of light, a body of energy and light. And this is a level of our being that we might not be familiar with, but many people are. Many people have seen this, felt this, recognized this. There's many art pieces and stuff that deal with this subtle body. So like that, then visualizing your body as a body of light. So then the next doorway, so first we deal with the most physical, the most substantial aspect of our experience is the body. And then we step a little more into speech. We're on our way to mind. So body, speech. So now in this practice, then speech is breath. So then again, reestablish your posture, gently tucking your chin in toward your chest. The tip of your tongue rests gently where your upper teeth and palate join, creating this subtle body energy circuit in the body that helps to draw the mind into a place of rest. Allow your jaw to relax and your lips part slightly. In this practice of meditation, then we breathe through our mouth, and this also is a technique for bringing the mind to a state of rest. Our ordinary breathing is through our nose, and this tends to stimulate our thought patterns. And by switching that, we're becoming more present, more mindful and aware of our breath. And this is a technique that can begin to start to help us to calm our mind. So the breathing is gently through the mouth. And as we calm our breath, breath is the wind element in the body. Like the physical body is the earth element, breath is the wind element. So as we slow and calm this breath, the wind element, we can begin to settle the mind. Mind and wind are very connected. Mind and breath, body, speech, and mind, all interconnected. So we can, by affecting one, we're affecting the others. So as we calm and slow our breath, we calm the wind in the body. The mind rides on the wind. If we're agitated and our breath is very short and fast, our thoughts are very fast and stimulated. So in the opposite way then, when we calm the wind, by calming the breath, we can begin to calm our mind. So then, on the next level of the practice of breath then, as we draw in a breath, gently drawing in the breath through our mouth, drawing the breath in the form of light, drawing the breath in the form of light into our body, our physical body, and our subtle body that is a body of light. So as we gently draw in this breath, drawing it in the form of light, and merging into our subtle body of light, and then as we exhale the breath in the form of light and space, and we allow that to merge back into space, light. Space is the element from which all things arise. The ground of all things is the same, this infinite spaciousness, vast and limitless. So as we allow the breath to exhale, we just allow this light to merge back into this vast space. Then, like mind and thoughts arise from where? Thoughts arise from this infinite space. It's just a thought. And then the thought resolves back into space. Like all things, everything arises and resolves back into space. So as we use our breath, this meditation technique in this way, we're resolving or dissolving this concept of this self that's separate from other things. The self that prevents us from being of ceaseless service to the awakening of all beings. We attach that self to this body. When we say me, we point and we are pointing to this body. So as we use our breath in this way, we're dissolving that boundary that creates an inner and an outer. So as you draw in a breath, drawing in this light, this ground of being, this spaciousness, the life force energy of the entire universe, drawing in as your breath in the form of light, merging into your body as light. And as you exhale, then releasing your breath back into this vastness of all things. And then as your mind begins to relax, then you just allow that. We've already set up this conditions where we've already set our intention to be of benefit. May our practice of attaining awakening be of benefit to others. So we've already created that. So then when the mind begins to open and relax and rest and be present, then just allow that. And become familiar with what that is. Our ordinary daily experience is just mind thinking all the time. And we never even have the experience of mind's vast, infinite, spacious, luminous clarity. Those qualities of our great mind. So as much as your mind begins to open and rest into that through these techniques and meditations, then just allow your mind to become familiar with that aspect of its nature. So again, then draw in a gentle breath in the form of light. Life force, energy of the entire universe. Filling your body with this light and energy. Merging into your body as light. Allowing that spaciousness, bringing more space to your mind, openness, presence. So now we move into the third doorway of mind. Now we've come this way, and now there's some awareness, some presence that we can rest upon with our mind. We're getting a handle, so to say, on how to focus our mind through these practices of compassion, through this great wish of compassion, this great mind of compassion. Then we can come to these places of resting our mind, being aware very swiftly. There's an example of if you take a horse, and a wild horse, and you tie it to a post, it's going to react and pull back and fight. But if you take a wild horse and you put it in a big, huge fence, it won't even realize that it's been put into a fence, and so it'll be okay. So it's similar. If you try to just nail down the mind, it's going to react and fight. But if you use this fence of compassion, which is the nature of our mind's purest quality, then we can use that to kind of reel in the wild horse, to train and tame the wild mind and bring it back to a place where we can direct it all through this methods of compassion and loving kindness for all beings. So again, draw in a gentle breath, calming and stilling the mind with this gentle breathing, drawing this breath in through your mouth in the form of light, and allow this light, the life force energy of the universe, to imbue into your body as light. So now mind. So again, reestablish your posture, gently tucking your chin in toward your chest. I totally forgot the gaze of the eyes. So as part of the posture, then we have a gaze for our eyes. And so where our eyes go, our mind goes. We're very visually connected beings. So when we focus the gaze, like focusing the body and the speech, this is another very profound technique for focusing the mind. So then in these practices, we meditate with our eyes open. So gently close your eyes, and then gently just allow the eyes to open. And so then this is the gaze of the eyes, and we gaze down toward the tip of our nose and then out into the space in front of us there, like where your outstretched hand would be in front of you, looking downward. And as we direct the gaze downward, that helps to calm the mind. In some practices, we direct the gaze upward, and that helps to refresh the mind. But for us, mostly then we need to calm the mind, so we train the gaze downward. And we leave the eyes gently open, but one pointed gently. And we're not looking at anything, we're looking into space, like staring into space. So body is light, breath merging this inner and outer space, and then eyes gazing into space. And then we say that there's a very special subtle body energy channel that runs from our eyes directly to our heart. So when we allow the gaze to remain open, we're allowing light to penetrate into our heart. So it's important not to close your eyes. And also when we close our eyes, we tend to space out and dream. So by keeping your eyes open, you can keep your mind present in this moment. So then mind, so again, then reestablish your posture. And then the subtle body central energy channel running from your root to your crown chakra. And in the very center of your central channel is your heart center. Visualize in the center of your heart center a small sphere of light, luminous like a pearl, like a bubble or a rainbow. So again, now drawing your mind into this one pointed focus, this light in the center of your heart. And then wherever we direct our attention, then we grow the energy there. We're directing our attention to this one pointed focus. So even by just holding our attention on this light within our heart, we're affecting a profound change. So just doing this then, and as much as you engage in these practices, then you will uncover and reveal many benefits to this. This is your path. So visualize this light in the center of your heart, warm, luminous, radiant, like 100,000 suns. And if your mind relaxes here, then become familiar with that. Just allow your mind to open and relax by focusing the mind in this one-pointedness, this luminous sphere of light in the center of your heart, like a pearl. And then you can use all of these techniques, your breath, slowing down the breath, merging inner and outer. All of these things then can continue to kind of wash through you and calm your mind. So then this light in the center of your heart, then from this light, shine light out to all the wisdom beings gathered in the sky above you, sending out this light as a connection, connecting to the heart mind of the awakened ones of the past, the present, and the future. This oceanic gathering of those who have come before us and engaged in these same practices, wishing for the benefit of other beings, sending out light from their hearts with this rays of wisdom and compassion. Then we connect to that, sending light from our heart, connecting to that enlightened, awakened mind of wisdom and compassion. And then all of those blessings are drawn in the form of light, radiant, warm, blissful, luminous, like 100,000 suns, all drawing back into your heart, expanding through your central energy channel into your crown chakra, your throat, heart, solar plexus, and root chakras, and continuing to emanate through your subtle body energy, arteries and veins and capillaries, cleansing out all of the impurities that we have gathered with this light of wisdom and compassion. Visualizing this light clearing out all the subtle body energy channels and chakras. And each channel then ends in a pore of your skin, so all of the light then radiating out through your pores. And notice how these meditations, these mental meditations, then we can distill and calm our mind back into one pointedness through these methods. So again, focus on this sphere of light in the center of your heart. Shine this out to all the wisdom beings, the 10 directions, the past, the present, and the future. Drawing in all the wisdom and blessing the 3 times in the form of radiant warmth and light, drawing this into your heart center, through your central energy channel, through your chakras and channels, and overflowing through the pores of your skin. And then this light emanates out into the environments that you are sitting in now. And everything the light touches then turns to light, turns to wisdom and blessing, revealing this nature of all things, emanating into the earth below you, the sky above you, emanating out into the world, the universe. You can direct this wisdom energy into your friends and family, or those who need specific prayers of healing, countries, areas, world leaders, however your mind is connected and feels a place where this wisdom, compassion is needed, then you can specifically imbue that into a specific place or just in general. And then you can go back and reestablish your posture, body, speech, mind, back to the center of your being, your heart center, and this light in the center of your heart, warm and radiant, shining out and drawing in all the blessings of the awakened ones, all the positive qualities of the universe, drawing in all that positive energy, fortifying, restoring, and rebalancing, sending it out through our subtle body energy channels into the world and all the beings within it. All the places where there's disharmony and dis-ease, sending out these rays of light with compassion, wisdom, imbuing that energy into those places. Then these are spiritual methods. Then physical methods, then we can feed people. We can help as much as we can. But if you feed one person in the morning, then they're hungry at night. So it's wonderful to help and serve in any way we can. That's our actions as fine as flour, refining our actions of our physical body, speech, and mind. But then minds capacity on a spiritual realm, spiritual level, is vast and limitless. So then we can expand our mind, and as much as we reduce the thoughts that cloud our mind by being obsessed with the self, the ego, this limited, impermanent aspect, as much as we reduce that through these practices of compassion and increase our interconnectedness and interdependence with all beings without exception, recognizing the awakened nature of all beings and looking with compassion, always looking out at others with compassion, seeing their awakened nature and seeing their covered, the mud that covers that crystalline nature of their being, and the suffering that they undergo by not being able to reveal and rest in their awakened truth. Sending out this compassion, wisdom in the form of light, in the vastest possible power and interconnected, all-encompassing, infinite, and resting in this present moment, free of mind's confining thoughts. So again, then we come back to this light in our heart, drawing in the blessings, sending out. We can use our breath. We can use our breath to send out the light rays from our heart. And then we can use our breath to draw back in all the blessings of the wisdom and life force energy of the universe, like the waves in the ocean, as the waves come in and go out like that, like our breath, like we're drawing in and sending out, like the waves, infinite, merging into all things, encompassing all beings with the vastness, the truth, the interconnectedness of our heart mind. And in this spiritual practice, then, refining our own mind stream and using the quality of our mind's capacity to direct our mind into positive thoughts, reducing our self-centered, egotistical, small mind and increasing this wisdom mind that is interconnected and compassionate to all beings, wishing all beings be free of suffering and all beings realize their qualities of their mind's capacities. So then, to complete our practice, then this entire visualization that you have created with your mind, all the wisdom beings in the sky, all the universe and all the beings within it, your friends and loved ones, and all that you have created. All of this begins to melt into light, and all absorbs back into you and into your body as light. And rest your mind now for a moment solely on the experience of your body as light. And then your body begins to melt into light and melts into the central energy channel. And then from your root and your crown chakra, the central energy channel melts into the center of your heart. And now rest your mind solely on this light in the center of your heart. And then this too melts into light. This light merges into space, and allow your mind to just rest in this completely open, present state. And then you reappear in your almost ordinary experience, and then you try to maintain this meditation and remain in this experience of your body as a body of light. So then the last step on the path here, then we always conclude our practices with what we call prayers of dedication. So the idea here is that through these stages and steps through this practice, we've created vast amounts of positive energy. So then we gather in all this positive energy, and then we dedicate it. And we dedicate it to the wish that all beings attain awakening. And so it's said that the way that it works is that when we dedicate, then it remains. So it's like if you put a drop of water in the ocean, then the water that drop becomes the ocean. And until the ocean is dry, then that drop exists. So it's like continuing to dedicate into this vast ocean of merit and wisdom for the benefit of others. So then this is a prayer of dedication that I love. Thus, by all the positive actions accumulated throughout the 3 times and the 10 directions, may the pain of every being be completely cleared away. In an aeon of famine, may I myself change into food and drink. May the hungry find food vital and nutritious. May the thirsty find water pure and forever abundant. May I become the doctor and the nurse and the medicine for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. May every disease in the world never occur again. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May I become an inexhaustible treasure for those who are poor and destitute. May the naked find clothing and the homeless find shelter. May I be a clean, comfortable bed to rest upon, free from fear or harm. May I become a protector for those without one, and may the powerless find power, and may those bound be freed. May those with little splendor come to be endowed with majesty, and those whose bodies are worn with toil find magnificent and noble forms. May the lowly obtain grandeur and the proud be humbled, and may people think of benefiting one another. May those weak with sorrow find joy, the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May no one ever be afraid or belittled. May no one's mind ever be depressed. May I turn into all things anyone could need. May I be a lamp for those desiring light. May I become a boat, a bridge, and a guide for all travelers on the way. May those feeble with cold find warmth, and may those oppressed by heat be cooled. May all beings be without want for wealth, and without it being a source of dispute or harm, may they always prosper. May harvests be rich and bountiful, and animals be free from the fear of being eaten. Just like space and the elements, may I always support the life of all boundless creatures. For as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too abide to dispel the pain in the world. May the suffering of beings ripen solely upon myself. I value all beings as equal. I offer myself for all. By this generosity may negativity be transformed into love, compassion, and kindness. May all negativity, the effects of harmful actions, be purified, and may beings think of benefiting one another, stirring the realms from their depths. And then my teacher always sang this prayer at the end of our practices, and this is a very special prayer that was revealed specifically for this time. And this prayer is a prayer of protection to protect us on our path to attain realization of our awakened mind. Dusan Sangye Guru Rinpo Je Ngodu Gondan Dewa Chen Pushab Bache Konsal Du Drapo Za Soa Dep So Jinje La Tu So Chenan Sawe Bache Chewa Dan Sampa Lunge Rupa Jinjelo Omea Un Bensra Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Omahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Omahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hong Omahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hong. So thank you all so much for coming and joining with your hearts and minds to meditate in this way together. And so now I am going to go into my silence, and I will be doing these practices. Usually it's 10 to 12 hours a day is our standard kind of practice. So connect with me if you wish, and I will be here. And I love you all, and usually I do ask for questions and for everybody to say hi and all of those things, but I think now tonight we'll just leave it at this, and I will come back here in 2 weeks on the full moon, and I love you all.